The ultimate thrifty question. What is better, American thrift stores or UK charity shops? If you've ever watched an American thrift haul online, you've probably thought to yourself, why do their thrift stores look so very different? They're seemingly massive warehouses full of endless designer goods. In the UK, it's a very different story. So which has the better prices? Which has the better fashion? Which has the better vintage? Which has the better experience? And why do they seem so different online? So first, what is the difference? Because maybe, unlike me, you aren't deep in American thrift haul videos online. You don't watch people go to American thrift hauls in your spare time, and you don't spend all your weekends in the charity shop. UK charity shops are usually run by charities, meaning only part, which is big T. People think that all profits made by charity shops go to the charity. No, a certain part that the government sets out has to go to the charity. So that Oxfam, British Heart Foundation, Cancer Research. You shop and part of your money from your purchase supports the charity. I love charity shops, but for me, I think the way in which they're sold to us is that all of the money goes to profits. You volunteer in them. I volunteered in one, and all of that money goes to profits. They're a CEO of charity shops. I literally kid you not. It's absolutely wild. Maybe we need a bigger long form video on it. But for now, here is a video that shows you the UK model very well.
You guys ask me all the time, Caitlin, how do you always find such good stuff in the charity shops? Well, today I'm going to show you. For a start, I will always drive to locations that I know are good for charity shops, even if they're not right on my doorstep. Where I came today was recommended by so many of my friends, so I had high hopes. Guys, I know this is long, but you're going to have to go through every single row in the shop. It's the only way to find hidden treasures. Also, make sure to keep an eye out for labels in case you see something hidden like this little Lacoste shirt. Oh my god, why did my voice go so high pitched? Must have been excited. I know that so many people get funny about trying unwashed charity shop clothes on, but I genuinely think it's the only way to know if things actually look good, because I feel like things often look a lot better on than they do on the hanger.
I've actually just clicked where this video is filmed. It's in Rochester. I've been charity shopping myself there. I really like this charity shop.
Anyway, copped a couple of bits in that first shop, so I was happy. I then headed down to this Demelza, and I feel like Demelzas usually have good pieces in them. And the one that I went in today had a massive vintage section in it. I feel like the biggest difference between vintage sections in charity shops versus actual vintage stores is the price tag. It's always so much cheaper in the charity shop. I also had these £5 mystery bags, which I was so tempted to get, so let me know if you want me to go back and get one. Also, guys, another little hack for finding good areas for charity shopping is put in Google Maps charity shop, and then look for areas where they're really densely populated and head there. Also, I feel like everyone knows this, but go to rich neighborhoods because they always have better clothes. Anyway, I was in this Oxfam that my sister always used to say she found really good stuff in, but I couldn't find anything good today. However, also make sure you always check out the men's section because they quite often have like nice knitwear and stuff. Then spent a while trying to decide if these trousers were cool or not. I fear they definitely weren't. I think if you can't picture any outfits you wear an item with, definitely don't buy it. However, I did find this really cute little anthropology shirt, which I could picture outfits with, so that was a lot. Then had a quick coffee to refuel because I was driving to the next destination. I have had so many people recommend this charity shop to me recently. It's a charity shop that sells designer pieces at charity shop prices. Oh my god, I was in heaven. I found Prada, Miu Miu, and Ralph Lauren all within 2 minutes of being there. It was basically a massive warehouse that was a bit more out in the middle of nowhere, so again shows the importance of doing your research before you head there. Also, give yourself time. I think I probably spent a good hour in this shop because it was so big. This coat, guys, I think I died and went to heaven. Also found this little Ralphie zipper. Make sure you also check out the shoes and accessories too. I feel like people forget to do this when you go to charity shop because realistically everything can be washed if you're funny about germs and stuff like that. Also, if you see a sale rail, don't assume that it has bad stuff on it. It just means that no one else has bought it yet, which means everyone else might just have bad taste. I had so much to try on in this last shop and I kind of wanted to hate it all because I didn't want to spend any more money. This top was another example of trying stuff on because it kind of didn't fit exactly how I thought it would on the hanger. This jacket, guys, oh god, it was everything.
American thrift stores can be charitable, but they're not always charitable. I had to do research into this. I am not American. Can you tell by my accent? I've never been to America. I'm alright, I don't want to go, but I do want to explore the thrift shops when a certain president leaves. But yeah, you guys didn't need to know that tea on why I'm not going to America, but I feel like it's very true for many queer people at the moment. So there's often larger retail operations in America. There's a Goodwill Industries, the Salvation Armies, and these are, I believe, places that they pay their workers to work in. Please correct me in the comments if you're American. The scale is very different, and many American like thrift stores feel more like warehouses than boutiques, which is kind of what charity shops are trying to give.
Okay, so who's gonna tell me that the best thrifting in the entire world is in Florida? I just spent the last week in Miami going to as many thrift stores as I possibly could and pulled out so many of my dream thrift finds. I simply must show you guys everything I found, okay? Obviously the bags were insane, but look, the iconic Rampage cheetah print dress worn by Miss Hottie Cindy Carlson, followed by every single fabulous 90s and early 2000s slip dress you could ever dream up in your pretty little head. The lingerie is honestly my favorite part of any thrift store, but Florida was another level. They also had these things called Goodwill Superstores, which I had had never heard of in my decades of thrifting, but were beyond good. Like, run your booty to one right now if you have one, because the pricing was also lower than normal Goodwill pricing, ? And as you can see, the most gorgeous pieces. So much vintage juicy couture and no boundaries. Oh my god, that tube top, another hottie vintage rampage dress, little vintage Charlotte Russe bedazzled hot shorts. Oh, so good. Now for a shoe explosion, I had to leave most of these behind, but I had to show you guys how deeply unhinged the shoes were. Like, I wanted absolutely everything and only let myself get 2 pairs of these. Guys, which ones do you think that I snagged? Of course, I'll show you in the haul. And we could not end this thrift trip without a massive scroll and roll through the tank top section. Literally Y2K rom-com, leading ladies, sweetest thing, fairy dream, complete summer wardrobe unlocked. Ugh, I'm honestly speechless, Florida. What is going on here? Why are your thrifts so hot and fabulous? Get ready for the best haul ever.
Those are those tops at the end. They really give me the energy of Y2K, and I can so see them on like a Y2K stall being sold at a market, especially if you're in like Notting Hill. I can see a Y2K stall being there and loads of those tops being featured, which is a tad different to charity shops, although I found some really great Y2K tops within charity shops. The size, I think, is the biggest contrast. Even when we have like those superstore charity shops, they are nowhere near as big as the thrift stores in America. Many UK charity shops are smaller, high street based, walk-in local shops that you just pop into when you're going to grab a coffee, whereas US thrift stores are huge suburban warehouse units with massive parking lots, and they have endless rails. I feel like this changes quite a lot about your thrifting experience. So the bigger the space, the more you can process the clothes that you're trying to sell, which means there's more randomness and chance to find something unique than if you're in the UK charity shop. In the charity shop, in the UK, however, I have mentioned that we have charity shop like superstores, which have popped up. And I believe they popped up in the last 10 to 5 years because that's when I've been seeing them. And so I'll show you a charity shop superstore.
Come with me to one of the biggest charity shops that I know, a giant cancer research. Also, how beautiful is the day? Beautiful blue skies, sunshine, and we're about to go charity shopping. I'm so excited. You guys know how much I love a bargain, and we are going to come to this giant cancer research and see what we can find. Let's go. This is so exciting. Look at all the gems and treasures. Oh my god, I can't wait to have a rummage. Shops were all reasonably priced, like everything under a £5 on this whole rail. Nice jackets from Weekday for a £5. Like, get me prices like this in the charity shop again. I spy a box of wee things. This is so nostalgic to me. Honestly, I would buy this for 30 quid. Can you stop me from buying a Wii?
Stop here.
Can you still buy Wii games now? eBay or something?
Yeah, charity shop.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
As well
Yeah, you can play Mario Kart. I like this V-neck sweater. I love the brown and blue colours. They're very me. What I've started doing for spring summer is buying like short sleeve and long sleeve shirts, and even if they are slightly too big for me, cropping them so they fit me perfectly. I'm gonna look for some shirts that are a bit more like fun prints. That would be so nice. Like, imagine that cropped with like some jeans. I spy Nick rummaging through the teddies. This is the great thing about having a boyfriend who loves to find Jellycats as well. Did you find any Jellycats?
No.
Are you holding?
America wins on volume, for sure. I feel like America is always trying to be the biggest and the best, and they are definitely the biggest. They have more clothes, more denim, more sportswear, more Levi. I think the reason that American thrift store content performs so well online, and charity shop UK content does do well, but it's more UK based, whereas I feel like a lot of people are watching American thrift content just because I'm intrigued as someone who's not been to America, into what people are going to find in their thrift stores, because it feels like people can dig for hours and still not get to the bottom of a thrift store. The UK feels like it wins more on curation. It has to curate what clothes it puts out because they are smaller, so there's less digging. You still need to dig, and there is still some junk in charity shops. But I do think there's fewer items, so sometimes you're more likely to find clothes that you actually adore. And one of my favourite charity shops is the Farah in Angel, or like the Crisis, which I do also really love. I love a Crisis. And I also love a trade sale. So here's a trade sale. It's an iconic thing to happen. If you ever stumble across one, you must go in.
Run, don't walk to Trade in Peckham, where everything is just £2. They have rails stacked with lots of good quality vintage coats and even really good vintage pieces. A gorgeous white cardigan, a Jack's Fair blazer, vintage coat and a St. Michael's shirt. They have a plus size section with some really great quality pieces, particularly the coats, which I cannot believe are only £2. This striped top with bow detailing was so cute, and this leopard print smock dress was stunning. They have a large men's section and also kids stuff, which was actually only £1. Honestly, there were so many cute pieces in store, so hurry up and head down before the sale ends and let me know if you find anything good.
Trade sales happen every so often. You can check them out on their Instagram. This video is quite old. I don't think there's currently a trade sale on, but they do happen quite a lot in the UK. So, prices. Who is cheaper? Historically, both are known as bargains, but things have changed as secondhand clothes have become way more trendy. And I'm going to talk about this in another YouTube video because it needs its own examination. But UK, I feel like, and bear in mind, I don't really work with charity shops because I don't do things for free and I know who's running you. I really need to do a long form video on that. But in the UK, many people now complain the fact that there's a £6 Primark top that you could get for a £5 at Primark, or that you're paying £15 for a fast fashion coat that's terrible quality and it's the same price that it's being retailed for in stores. But there's a lot of reasons that this happens, and I do sympathise with charity shops as to why this is happening. I think a lot of it is to do with the prices rising. A lot of people have spoken about how when they work in charity shops, they have to hit a certain amount of sales or price things at certain like price brackets, just because the charity shop has really high margins on them. And this is because there's filthy little CEOs trying to make money. I am so doing a video long form on that. But anyway, I think fast fashion companies as well, they're little pricks because they donate a lot of their non-used stock that's like newer tags to charity shops, write it off like tax-free and say that it's good for the environment because they've done that, when in fact they are just putting loads of their shitty clothes in charity shops that might not even get sold because they are shit. Here's an example of it happening.
Let's have a look inside this viral Pretty Little Thing charity shop. This charity shop basically stocks a load of brand new with tags, Pretty Little Thing and Nasty Gal pieces. I'll pop the address at the end of this video if you do want to visit. The majority of this shop is literally fast fashion clothes, which I don't actually know how I feel about it. It's 100% better than them heading to landfill, but I'm pretty sure it's a tax dodging scheme for companies. Stock in there is so nice, but the prices are a little steep. This jacket was £45, which is crazy. And these jeans were £24. They do also have a vintage section in the charity shop, and I found so many cute bits. I love this sweatshirt. And how unreal are these Christmas waist jackets? Let me know.
It is a tax dodging scheme. And also it's not guaranteed to not go to landfill when you donate it to a charity shop, because 80% of clothes donated to charity shops, say it with me, get sent to landfill because they're not going to be good enough quality. People might not want to buy them. They might be stood on the shelf for too long. I think if they're on the shelves, then they're probably going to be bought. But if the fast fashion places have donated shit quality clothes, like if Shein donated clothes, there is so much Shein in charity shops. I'm going to do a whole video on the fact that I think fast fashion has ruined charity shops. And also it kind of dives into this video, so maybe I should have done them back to back. Whatever, that video is going to be out in a few weeks, but I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on it. I do still love a charity shop, and I think there is beauty in a charity shop. But let's move on with this one particular video before I start segueing into a whole brand new video. Let's stay on topic. Let's read our scripts, Lottie. So, US pricing problem. America, I think, kind of has the same issue. A lot of thrifters will complain about higher goodwill prices and the fact that there's reseller competition.
Holy shit.
I don't have an issue with resellers. They happen. Hopefully they'll get rid of clothes and like make them new and try and sell them again. I think that the issue in America, so people in the comments were saying that was a local thrift store. Maybe if it's a larger thrift store, the prices are going to be better. Like in the UK, where if you go to a charity shop superstore that's like in a retail park, then those prices are a bit cheaper because it's a lot of clothes that weren't sold in other charity shops that are on the high street. The US is incredible for vintage denim, college sweatshirts, Hollywood glam. I found this video. It makes me jealous of American thrift stores. It's massive. Such gorgeous dresses. Oh my gosh. Okay, now let's talk about the little old UK's strengths. We have a lot of tailoring, we have a lot of designer and heritage and wool coats. We also have very strong European labels. So I think this is one of our benefits, is that I will find a lot of clothes that their label, when I research them, has come from places across Europe, like Italy and France. If I find made in Italy pieces, I know I'm on to winner, because those quality clothes are always so good. One of my favorite creators, who does a lot of vintage content, did this video.
I'm shook. I am shooketh to the core about what I just found in the charity shop in Bath. So there I see this in the cabinet. I'm thinking, okay, obviously Mulberry. She's in the cabinet, therefore they know her worth. They know her worth. How gorgeous is this pouch, right? Tartan lining, stunning. I knew it was authentic because I always know to check the serial number on the reverse of the little brass tab. Beautiful leather, fantastic condition. It's gorgeous, honestly, it's beautiful. I couldn't see the price on it, so I was like, well, I guess there's no harm in having a look. I guess there's no harm in asking how much it is. And it was a volunteer on the desk, and she said, well, if it's Mulberry, it's going to be pretty expensive. And I was like, yeah, I know, girl, I know, but will you just mind opening the cabinet and letting me have a look? She took it out. She said, oh yeah, You could see in her face, she was like, oh shit. £20. £20. £20. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Beautiful. Stunning. You know, I don't know what I'm going to use this for. That's the receipt, because I simply could not believe it was £20. It's gorgeous. And I love the lining. She's everything. Like, honestly, it kind of goes with this outfit as a clutch. I might try and put a little strap on her, or I'll use her for like some cosmetics. 20 quid. I just knew you guys would die. This is the charity shop gods rewarding me for shopping secondhand for so many years, and I just want to say thank you.
I love how she talks about it. That is such an amazing find. I have thrifted in charity shops, especially in my earlier years when I was thrifting like 10 years ago. Some amazing finds and pieces that I still wear to this day. So I do think if you go into charity shops repeatedly, you will find amazing goods in British and UK. If you go to charity shops repeatedly, you'll find amazing goods and clothes in UK charity shops. In both countries, I sometimes feel it depends on the postcode rather than the actual country that they're in. Wealthier areas often, typically, donate better brands. Older neighborhoods can give you incredible vintage pieces, and the tourist areas always seem to be overpriced in the UK, and I've seen that being the case in America too online.
I've been told that these are the 3 best thrift shops in all of LA, so today we're going there and seeing if it's actually true. And we're starting things off at LA's biggest thrift store, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. Now, I'm gonna just let y'all know off the bat, this is one of the most insane thrift stores that I've ever been in my entire life. If you want anything, and I mean anything, this store has it. But today we're only focused on clothes because I think I would spiral out of control if I had to look through all this stuff. Not only did this place have really cool clothes, it also had some of the best prices I've seen in any thrift store in LA. They literally had a brand new Golden State Warriors jersey thing with the tag still on it for more than half off. Overall, their collection was somewhat overwhelming to the point where I literally couldn't move the rack sometimes to look at what I was seeing. But if you dig, this place has really sick stuff at an insanely good price. And it just kept getting better. Next up was It's a Wrap, and this place is famous because every movie or TV show that wraps, they go ahead and donate their wardrobe to this place, and then you can go buy like basically brand new things for half off. Like these Sambas were $50 and they look like they haven't been worn. Some of the stuff was like lightly worn or tattered because of whatever set they were on, but they had insane pieces all over the store, including this Loro Piana jacket, which was half off. They also had stuff from Dancing with the Stars and dresses from other shows that I've never seen. Obviously, the selection here was a lot smaller and you kind of got to get lucky, but when you do, it is a great price for everything. And to end things off, I checked out Wasteland. I've heard a lot of good and really bad things about this place, and I'm gonna just let y'all know this is one of those stores that if you have money, you'll find really cool things, and there are genuinely awesome pieces, but it is absolutely not a thrift store when you see a $48 vintage t-shirt. To give them props, there were some decent things for good prices. Not a bad store by any means, just definitely doesn't stack up to the other two.
I think that's a really good video of showing how in America there is like different thrift stores in different areas and they're good for different things. Now, the reseller effect. I think both countries really changed when reselling exploded, and once people realized thrift stores could help them make a profit and like start their own little companies, the competition has definitely increased. So now great finds are often bought early in the day, flipped online, or cherry-picked really fast. It often means that for casual shoppers like myself, there's nothing really left. But I don't really have anything against resellers. I'm not sure how you feel about them. I know they've hiked up the price, but they also are selling clothes that would otherwise go to landfill. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. This is a person who's a reseller in America.
I think I found where the rich people donate in Minnesota. I hit up this Goodwill in Minnetonka and I couldn't believe some of the stuff that I found. I did find some of the pricing to be a bit higher than what I find in Cincinnati, and I also have limited space in my suitcase. So I had to pass on this Tularosa embroidered top. Also this American Giant t-shirt. These are things I probably would have picked up at home, but I just really had to be picky. I also found this J. McLaughlin like linen men's button up. So even though I didn't have room for a lot of these treasures, like these good American jeans, if I lived in Minnesota, this is a Goodwill I would for sure put on my rotation every single week. Another thing that I noticed about this Minnetonka location is that they were bringing out a lot of new racks. I probably saw 4 or 5 new racks roll out in the less than an hour that I was at this location. And this was just on a Tuesday around 11 o'clock. It wasn't right at opening or anything, but I can tell they put new stuff out a lot, and I think that's a good indicator of a good thrift store. And of course, I had to check out the blazers. I found this Athleta blazer, but it was priced a little too high. I also spotted this Lovers and Friends blazer that was a little more reasonably priced. And this next brand you should be on the lookout for. It's called Gospel by Sister Jane, and this has really decent comps. I have sold this brand before and it did well for me, but it was a little too bulky to bring home. I found Ming Wang. There were some brands they were definitely aware of and priced up, Athleta being one of them. So if I had to shop this Goodwill on the regular, I would have to be on the lookout for when these pieces went to half price. They also really priced up Lululemon. They had racks at the front of the store, and the pricing, to be honest, was kind of outrageous. So again, you would have to wait until those got to half price or maybe ended up at the bins. But here's what I did take home. This was new to me. This was a Bogner Fire and Ice base layer, and check out these comps. I also decided to bring home this tropical Trina Turk swim cover up. It was really beautiful and reasonably priced. I also decided to grab this J. Crew blazer. I loved the camel brown color. That one is always super popular. I also found this like shirt dress from Jude Connolly that was in fabulous condition. And this Misa Los Angeles like off the shoulder mini dress. So overall, I was really happy with this trip to Minnetonka Goodwill.
At the beginning of the video, she did that really fast like thrifting flip. I'm glad to see that is universal, because I do that in the UK, where you're like going through the rails and you're like flipping through all of the clothes. Which experience is better from a girl who severely goes to charity shops in the UK a lot and someone who severely watches a lot of American thrift store content online? So I would say America seems like, to me, a treasure hunt. You have huge carts, huge rails, and you spend hours digging for clothes.
Let's go thrifting for 2 hours at one of my favorite thrift stores. This location actually has a separate building for furniture and electronics, so I always start there. I actually got my chrome side table from here a few months back, so I always check this area. This little Roxy suitcase immediately caught my eye. I feel like I haven't seen Roxy stuff in so long. It's so nostalgic to me. I love the pink lining, but I just don't need another suitcase right now, so I passed. I didn't find anything else in here, but as I was walking out, this iPod Touch caught my eye. I honestly haven't seen one of these in real life since elementary school when I used to have one. These used to be everything, and this pink color was so cute, but I had no way of knowing whether it worked or not, so I just gave it back, but it is honestly so cute. I kind of want to go back for it. Then I headed into the second building. This is where they keep all the clothes, shoes, stuff like that, more like a regular thrift store. I was actually shopping for Coachella at the time, so keep that in mind with the things that I'm looking at. I saw this gold purse hanging and I thought it was really cute, but I honestly don't know if I would ever wear it outside of Coachella, so I put it back. Then I found this super cute crochet table runner. I wanted to make this into a top or cut it into belts or something, but that didn't end up happening, so stay tuned to see what I do with that, because I did get it. And then this is the whole reason why I came here. The jewelry section at Community Thrift is unmatched. I found this red statement necklace and it has these little chrome beads, and I thought this was perfect for my day 3 look because I wanted to do something red for Carol G, and I did end up wearing this. I also wanted some blue necklaces for my day 2 look because I knew I was going to wear blue and brown, and I found these two that I thought would be cute together. But then I took a look at the jewelry behind the cash register, which is also some of the best stuff at Community Thrift, and when I saw this turquoise and silver necklace, I knew that this was the one, and I put the other two back. I ended up wearing this one at Coachella as well, and I feel like it tied my look together so well. I also took a peek at the bangles, but I have so many at home, so I decided not to get any of these, but they did have some cute ones. I took a look at the belts and I found this blue one. It went so well with my Coachella outfit. I'm so happy that I found this. And lastly, I found a couple really cute purses, but I've been trying to be really picky these days because I just have so many, so I didn't get any of these, but overall I was so happy with my haul and I cannot wait to go back here.
Whereas the UK feels like you are charity shopping as a casual activity, but you can do charity shop crawls, which is like a whole thing.
If you're looking for the perfect London charity shop crawl for your day off, then look no further, because I have a whopping 29 charity shops all within a walking distance of each other. Get yourself down to Turnpike Lane Station, where you'll begin your journey at Anubis Vintage Clothing, and then head in the direction of Wood Green and you'll find Cancer Research, and then my all-time favourite, North London Hospice. This one feels like such a real charity shop and great if you're up for a rummage, and I got my first purchase here, which is this little woolly number. Next up is Trade, and this one is so good. I've had so many purchases here. Right, now it's time to get your walking shoes on because we're heading to Crouch End, aka the land of the yummy mummies, aka the home to the Chazza Shop bargains. First up is RSPCA and then cross over the road to Mary Curie where I found the most perfect dark wash denim diesel jeans, which most definitely came home with me. Then there's the Children's Air Ambulance and back to my favourite store, the North London Hospice, which is just so elite, guys, I can't. Next up we have Shelter and I found a few cute bits in here, but sadly nothing was quite right. I just don't think yellow is my colour. Then up to Haven House, to Cancer Research, and then back down to Bernardo's. And guys, I'm gonna have to make this a part 2 because we are running out of time. But don't you worry, I've got another 17 shops to add, so stay tuned for that.
That charity shop crawl is very enjoyable. It's near Crouch End and Turnpike Lane. I haven't done it in a while, and now that video is making me want to do it. What each country could copy from each other? I think UK should copy the fact that in America there's bigger warehouses, there's better denim selections, and there's more stock rotation. I also think there's easier parking for a lot of more warehouses in the US because often when I'm picking up something larger, for example, if I buy a furniture piece at a charity shop, I have to think about the logistics of getting it home on the tube or like figuring that out, but then also that's the advantage of living in a city. And the fact that you're able to go into the thrift store and stay in the thrift store for hours is so intriguing to me.
Happy Tuesday, divas. Guess where we are? And if you said work, you must be new here because I'm unemployed. We're at Goodwill. I actually came over here to go to Hobby Lobby, but look how that cookie crumbled. Never really looked through this Goodwill ever, so we're doing it together for the first time. It's so intimate. So excited. I think I already spotted a pair of boots. That looks interesting right there, sticking out. Oh yeah, it's a wedge. Am I being kid right now? Am I being joshed? Baggy t-shirt where only the lace is showing. Amazing. Next up, your favorite, a bodysuit. Whoever, she's from Free People. White backless bodysuit. Yeah. Is this ugly or is this Y2K? That question keeps me up at night. It's brand new with tags. I don't know what this is. It's something offensive. I don't know what it is, okay? But I thought it kind of looked expensive. I don't really like this. It's from Urban, so thought I'd show ya. This, I'm kind of loving. Kind of off the shoulder. Last thing, hear me out. Ugly or eating? Try her on and see. Getting naked in the Goodwill. I don't have a mirror and I'm recording on 0.5, so you tell me, am I eating? I kind of feel like I'm eating, but I always feel that way. That's all I got for ya. Thanks for watching, Daves. Kind of like it in here. Feels kind of niche.
This charity shop is in Nashville. I feel like it's giving real Nashville energy. I really want to visit American charity shops. That's what this video is making me want to go do. It's making me want to go to America to go thrifting, which I mean there's loads more to explore in America, and I will once someone fucks off. And it's making me want to go on a charity shop crawl. I think America could copy the fact that in the UK charity shops, it often feels like a community feeling is within them. I think that's because volunteers are working with them. I think charity shop volunteers are some of the most lovely people to ever exist. But I do think that you can walk from different charity shops and do a charity shop crawl is something really unique to the UK. I also think that this fact that there's often smaller created stores is something that America could also copy. I think the reason that people love both charity shops and thrift stores is because secondhand fashion breaks the algorithm. You're discovering new clothes and you're not buying what everyone else is buying that month. Final verdict. I can't decide. I don't know. For me, America is really interesting because I've only ever seen it online, but I do think in the UK we are blessed with some gorgeous charity shops. If you've been to both, I want to hear your opinions in the comments. If you've only been to American thrift stores, I want to hear your opinions in the comments. If you're only a UK charity shop girly, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know in the poll. I'm going to try out a poll on YouTube and see how that works. I don't think there's a right answer. I think I have to click that there's a right answer. Weird. But I want to see in this poll which ones you guys think are better. I've been to a lot of European vintage stores, so maybe I need to do like a comparison on those. I need to take you thrifting with me when I go to Berlin next month. Berlin charity shops and thrift shops are hands down the best. They have Humana and it's near Alexandria Platz. Oh my gosh, that shop, I'm literally like thinking about it whilst I am like planning my trip. I'm like, how long do I get to stay in that thrift store? When can I go to the flea markets in Berlin? So maybe I need to do a comparison on Europe versus UK thrift shopping and charity shops. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would vibe. I wanted to highlight something in my next video that is very unique to the UK, and that is car booting. I think that is such a British niche, so we are going to go out and about in my next video and go to a car boot together, and I'm going to give you all the tea